To this news segment with some inputs coming in from Lucknow. This time there's a big development. The team has reached to conduct a survey at the famous Islamic seminary Nadwa Madarsa in Lucknow. This is the latest we are bringing to you. Remember, we have been tracking the story very closely, and those are the visuals that we can show you of the survey currently being conducted right now. Officers, as you can see, are interacting with the board, with the members of the Nadwa Madarsa. I'm also joined in by Pranshu Mishra right now. Pranshu, tell us what is currently underway. Also, let's listen into some reactions that have poured in.
सिंपल से डाटा कलेक्शन की बात है।
आप इसको दे देंगे, डीएम को रिपोर्ट सौंपेंगे।
हाँ, जिलाधिकारी के माध्यम से शासन हो चला जाएगा। जी, निर्णय
भी रद्द हो सकती है।
नहीं, इसके बारे में अभी हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं। ये शासन को है। हाँ, ये शासन को निर्णय लेना है। हमें जो काम आइए।
Pranshu, we heard you bring in that reaction. Can you tell me who were you speaking to? A, B, how the bone of contention today remains? What is the bone of contention today is to probe the affiliation of these big madrasas to the small madrasas with the Uttar Pradesh Madrasa Education Board and state recognition.
Well, Akanksha, see, it's a three-member team which is presently conducting the survey. It comprises of the SDM, Sub-Divisional Magistrate, Basic Education Officer of Lucknow, and also the District Minority Officer of Lucknow. And in fact, at the moment, the survey, in fact, the paperwork has been done. Now, what the team is doing, and I'll show you in the cameras, is the team there, you can see, is actually, moving around, viewing all the academic blocks, taking the stock of infrastructure. I spoke to the Sub-Divisional Magistrate here, who was a part of the survey team,
right.
And he says that, we are out here to start this survey from one of the most recognized places so that others fall in line, so that other smaller institutes, they start cooperating, getting a fact that, when Nadwa is cooperating, we should also volunteer, come forward and cooperate. But clearly, it is a surprise. And I also spoke to the Vice Principal of Nadwa, who says that we have cooperated, we have shared all details, we run through the charity money, the zakat money, and therefore there is nothing to hide. But on the question that when the Muslim Personal Law Board has opposed this decision, why Nadwa, who has such a strong association with the Muslim Personal Law Board, has opened the doors for the survey team. So the office bearers, the vice principal, was silent. He didn't want to comment on that, particular point, particular question. But the messaging has been very clear. The sort of focus, I think, which the government wanted to come on this madrasa issue, the message it wanted to send across the Muslim community, that messaging could only have been achieved if the survey teams goes knocking first at a premier institute like Nadwa al-Islam, and that messaging, I think, has been done. And officers also clearly, acknowledging the fact that we have come here to Nadwa because no institute is above the procedure of survey, how big it is, but also adding the fact that by starting the survey from Nadwa, the messaging that will be sent across would be more important, and other institutes will also probably fall in place and cooperate as far as the survey mechanism is concerned.
Pranshu, thank you so much for staying with us. This is Griha here. I'd like to understand this one thing, because there are a lot of reactions that are coming in when it comes to this survey that has just started by the Uttar Pradesh government. Considering they have started it with the Nadwa Madrasa in Lucknow, and also the important point that my colleague Akanksha also was making, that this is not yet recognized by the state or the central government. So these are two things. Having said that, this is a centuries-old madrasa. We're talking about 123 years. So is the effect is
yes.
to make them fall in line, or is it to unsettle? Because that's the argument that is coming in from the minority community as well.
Well, Griha, we can debate upon the political rationale behind conducting survey from here. But, you make a very interesting point. See, Madrasa Board came in force only post-independence. This place, Nadwa al-Islam, was established in late 19th century. So it was much before even the Madrasa Board came in. There was an effort to, organize the madrasas under the government umbrella. Madrasa, as I said, Nadwa has a status of university. It being a university, it is in a position of granting affiliation to many other madrasas, and there are many more madrasas, smaller madrasas, who have affiliation to their curriculum, to their certificates from this institute. The government's viewpoint is, and yesterday when we spoke to the chief of Madrasa Board, is that any institution, Islamic institution, which is not associated to the Madrasa Board, how big it might be, is under the, is under the ambit of the survey. And that's the reason why the team has come knocking at the doors of Nadwa. So technically it is nothing wrong in it, because Nadwa is not associated to the Madrasa Board, and therefore it falls in that bracket that it could be surveyed upon. But the larger point here is that Nadwa, being a world famous, renowned Islamic seminary with a, such a huge infrastructure status, and I have shown you the pictures, and I'll again show you the pictures. See, this is the huge campus. This is the huge campus, so many buildings, so many academic blocks, and therefore one can clearly have no doubt that when it comes to infrastructure, this institution enjoys the world-class infrastructure. It has a strong battery of teachers and academicians studying here. It has a world-class library, more than 7,000 students pursuing undergraduate, postgraduate and research programs. So I think that the intent of the government clearly is that by going to Nadwa, send out the larger political message that the work of survey has started with full throttle, with full stream in Uttar Pradesh, and also to send across the message to all other madrasas, smaller madrasas in Uttar Pradesh. Anyone who is objecting to these surveys, send them out a message that if the seat like Nadwa is cooperating, the place which is also the seat of the Discourse for All India Muslim Personal Law Board, if that place is cooperating, if that place is open to the survey, others should not hesitate. So I think it is also with the intent of a larger messaging that why Nadwa has been chosen as the first point of beginning for the survey process.
Absolutely. Pranshu, thank you so much for staying on this particular story. We'll keep coming back